The fragrance of newly ground espresso beans drifted through the air, blending with the delicate tunes of jazz that drifted from stowed-away speakers. Luck Mixes, the comfortable bistro concealed in a side of New Haven, radiated an enticing appeal that attracted individuals like a magnet. What's more, this specific evening would turn into the setting for a fortunate experience between Ethan and Lily. As the entryway opened up, a ringer tinkled delicately, reporting the appearance of another client. Ethan ventured into the bistro, his faculties immediately enamored by the warm vibe that encompassed him. The delicate lighting made a close air, and the walls enhanced with dynamic works of art added a dash of caprice to the space. Lily, the barista with hazel eyes and a real grin, gazed upward from behind the counter as she heard the entryway. Her eyes augmented with acknowledgement as she saw Ethan enter. She welcomed him heartily, her voice conveying a similar melodic pleasantness as in the past. "Welcome back. How goes it with you?" Ethan returned her grin, a touch of commonality pulling at his heartstrings. "I'm great, much obliged. Simply thought I'd swing by for one more cup of your astonishing espresso." Lily's cheeks flushed somewhat at the commendation, her eyes shining with, "Please. I'm happy you appreciate it. Coming straight up." As Ethan sat tight for his espresso, he looked around the bistro, taking in the comfortable guest plans. There were rich rockers settled in corners, little tables dispersed across the room, and, surprisingly, a seat by the window washed in warm daylight, ideal for some thoughts. Lily got back with a steaming mug of espresso, the rich smell twirling enticingly. She put it before Ethan with an elegant development, her eyes meeting his. "Here you go, 1 cup of our best brew. Appreciate." Ethan folded his hands over the warm cup, savoring the transient break it advertised. As he tasted, the rich flavor moved on his tongue, an ensemble of harshness and pleasantness. He could not resist the opportunity to let out a satisfied murmur. With his espresso close by, Ethan tracked down an empty seat close to the window. He got comfortable, looking out at the clamoring city roads, his brain meandering as he lost himself in the rhythmic movement of the group. The delicate jazz tunes gave a relieving background, making a quiet space amid the metropolitan tumult. Minutes transformed into hours as Ethan forgot about the time, retained in his viewpoints and the mood of the bistro. The hours liquefied away, the midday daylight creating long shaded areas through the window. Similarly, as Ethan was going to leave, his eyes got a quick look at Lily remaining close to the counter, apparently lost in her reality. Interested in her presence, he moved toward her with a conditional grin. "Hello, Lily. I want to believe that you don't care either way if I go along with you briefly." Lily's eyes illuminated with shock and delight. "Not. Having some company is great." They tracked down a calm corner of the bistro, away from the clamoring swarm. As they subsided into their seats, the discussion streamed easily. Ethan found that Lily had energy for workmanship and writing, her face illuminating as she talked about her #1 writers and the brushstrokes that moved her spirit. Thusly, Ethan shared stories from before, his adoration for nature and experience, and his excursion to New Haven. They settled on something worth agreeing on in their common craving for novelty or adventure, their shared longing for importance and association in this huge world. As the hours got away, the bistro changed into a space of cozy discussions and shared chuckling. Ethan and Lily dug further into one another's lives, unwinding layers of weakness and understanding. It was during one such second that Ethan's look weighted all over, seeing how her eyes shone with certified delight, how her lips bent into a brilliant grin. It was at that time that he understood there was an attractive draw between them, an illogical association that went past simple kinship. The acknowledgement brought a combination of fervor and fear. Ethan contemplated whether Lily felt the same way or on the other hand assuming he was simply adding a lot to their experiences. He would have rather not endangered their freshly discovered fellowship, yet his heart yearned for something else. As the evening transformed into night, the bistro started to void, the once clamoring space presently peaceful and quiet. The air snapped with expectation, both Ethan and Lily mindful of the implicit words waiting between them. With a slight quiver in his voice, Ethan ended the quietness. "Lily, I've partaken presently together gigantically. I feel like there's something uniquely great between us, something that would merit investigating. Might you want to go out at some point perhaps for a stroll in the city or a visit to a craftsmanship exhibition?" Lily's eyes broadened, a blend of shock and pleasure radiating through. Her grin transmitted warmth as she gestured, her voice loaded up with veritable fervor. "I would adore that, Ethan. It would be superb to invest more energy with you beyond the bistro." What's more, at that time, as the last beams of daylight washed the bistro in a brilliant gleam, Ethan and Lily felt the universe adjusting, their ways uniting in the most unforeseen of ways. Much to their dismay that their process had just barely started, with each step driving them more like an affection they had both been looking for.